Howdy, banger pals. Blayne Smith welcoming you to another Overkill Reviews Bangers Weekly Metal Review Show. If you watched my last video, you might notice I'm still in the same outfit. So, yeah, we filmed these back to back. I'll turn my hat backwards so you can tell the difference. How about that? Yes, it's the new album from Paradise Lost called Ascension. It came out September 19th on Nuclear Blast Record, and now that I see myself like this, I realize I look quite dumb, so I'm gonna turn that back. Formed all the way back in 1988, Paradise Lost are one of the absolute essential Death Doom bands, and Death Doom is the reason I'm at Banger, so they're a pretty important band to me, especially because they're one of the few bands from the softer side of Death Doom that didn't massively slip as their career went on and just like pretend metal didn't exist and become like a goth ambient band. I was popping off about their last record. In my review, I gave it a 4.5 and said I wanted it to get, like, if I could give it a 4.9, I would have.
Make the skulls extra wide so they seem like more of a 4.5 out of 5 because it's like a 4.5 plus.
So let's see what type of foreshadowing I'm doing here. Now, full confession, I actually started off on the wrong foot with this album. I listened to a single on my stream, and I just happened to pick Serpent on the Cross, and the song has an atrocious, lazy, nonsensical, ugly AI video to go with it. I'm not gonna relitigate an AI debate. If you catch me on my stream, as a reminder, twitch.tv/metalcomedy, every Sunday, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, I research Metal Monthly Live. But yeah, I'm not going to talk about AI here because I do enough of that over there. But if you do hate AI, I'll yell about it over there for you. So I just think it's relevant that it was so bad it made me not like the song. Even if it turned out to not be AI, I think it's one of the ugliest music videos I've ever seen. I'd take a lyric video over that thing. Yikes. I don't know why we all hate lyric videos so much, but man, we hate those things. So imagine my surprise when the album opens with that track, and I really dig it. I actually had to go back and check my VOD to be like, wait, was that the song I heard? Was it a different song? Okay, so the music video was bad, but that's not really part of the album. All good? Yes, actually, all good. For that song. It's the only song I like all the way through on this record. Whoops, it was evil foreshadowing after all. Booga, booga, booga. Okay, Tyrant Serenade is cool too, but regardless, in the opposite of the music video, after we get through the initial positive reaction, every other track just has something that just makes my nose wrinkle like I'm smelling food that went off. It's hard for me to not like Paradise Lost, so it's incredibly frustrating that they incorporate so much that detracts from their modern sound. The 90s are back in a big way. I'm very aware. And the last record brought in a little post-punk gothic rock, and boy, howdy did it work. This time, they brought back everything that should have stayed in the 90s, like whatever the hell this crotch rock nonsense is.
On a founding endeavor, but your favors belongs innate, for the crown needs a bearer, northern way, screaming in rage.
In the 90s, the commercial success of the Black Album led to the height of Metallica fever, and now they're billionaires. So in the 90s, following Gothic, Paradise Lost released some records that started to sound a little Metallica-y. People like these albums. I have more complicated feelings about them. While I do think they managed to synthesize something unique, they did try and sound like Metallica a lot. So it kind of felt like an attempt to be more commercially relevant when I listened to it. But hey, dudes gotta eat. Our art progresses as we age. They came out all right. They held on to it for a while, but they eventually moved past and landed somewhere great. What I didn't need was them to revisit this in 2025, especially because those records released in the early to mid 90s. By the time 99 rolls around, they're sounding like Depeche Mode. So it sounded like Metallica before they made any massive slips, right? But the modern sound of this record does not lend itself to early 90s Metallica. This sounds like someone dropped a Fat Up Steam and Load right in the middle of my Paradise Lost album. But yes, okay, you want to say it's part of their career? Fine, put a track on. Why is it's not one, it's 4 songs of Nick Holmes' amazing and far-ranging voice giving me fuel, giving me fire, certainly not giving me what I desire. Silence Like a Grave, Dilovim, Sirens, and Deceiver all sound like this. That means the back half of this record is a complete slog. It sounds like Paradise Lost are trying to sell me a truck. Paradise Lost, new album Ascension.
And nothing ascends tough terrain like a Ford F-150.
Devastation from one extreme, revival of yesterday's fight, aggravation from the ones we endear, and tirelessly waiting to die. Halls of madness, you cannot see what your dreams reveal. Thought of sadness, you cannot see as the vision prepares you to die.
Part of the reason I love 2015's The Plague Within was because it sounded like a mature band that had really found a great sound and reason for their continued output this late in their career. It wasn't a watered down version of their old sound. It was fresh and vibrant, and Obsidian did a great job of looking back at their career, but doing so through that modern lens. This, on the other hand, feels like what I have unfortunately come to expect out of a lot of bands 30 plus years into their career. Hey, remember when type trip down memory lane, scrubbed and sanitized of any of the grit of when it was fresh. So it's just the, I need an excuse to tour so I can put an addition onto the house type of record. Because they've had so many sounds, pioneering a new genre on Gothic, Metallic-y, Depeche Mode-y, then modern Paradise Lost, when you combine all of these sounds onto a record, and in some case, one song, you just wind up with paste. And look, I'll drink a bottle of Soylent paste for breakfast every morning, but that's not what I want when I listen to music. I listen to music for fun. Food is a chore my flesh sack requires. What frustrates me even more is they know their modern stuff is their strongest stuff too, I assume, because that's how they open the album, and that's 2 of the 3 singles. Like, why would you show me how cool of a sound you've managed to craft and trick me into the album only to spend the back 9 hitting me with a weak rehash of not the heights of it? Boggles the mind. It also boggles the mind that in 2025 we're still eating solid food. Have you considered starting your day with a bottle of Soylent? No, I buy this on my own. We don't have ads over. Although Soylent, if you want to personally sponsor me, reach it. We'll talk. Anyway, yeah, we don't have ads because you guys give us a couple bucks on Patreon every month, and we get to just keep doing this and talk about metal, and I can give negative reviews, and it doesn't matter because we're supported by you. So we're currently taking a poll for what records you want us to review next month, and then you get bonus content, videos, tip sheets, stuff from the archive. So we're putting stuff up there for you. It's not just we're not just panhandling over here. We're giving you something on the back end. Earlier, I said every track has something that turns up my nose. Not that every track turns up my nose. That's because Paradise Lost are still in here. They just made some of the most perplexing decisions with what to put to paper. When Nick is doing his near death metal growls, he's one of the few people that can kind of back off them a few steps to make lyrics easy to understand and have it still sound good. Then when he switches gears into full-on emotional singing, he's one of the even fewer guys that don't make me go, boo, stop singing, this is metal, give me harsh vocal, boo, boo. His voice hasn't lost a step either, and he's got not 1 but 2 signature styles I love. I like him as a vocalist a hell of a lot better than Hetfield, so I don't know why he's singing like him. James Hetfield can eat a center ourselves so when they decide to try and impress me, Greg McIntosh can still go off on guitar. For some reason, he doesn't get a lot of opportunities to do so, though. And again, I ask, why? I have no idea, but hey, when it happens, I'm happy. Have a listen to a great solo from Serpent on the Cross without the video. We'll just put up the album cover. I'm not gonna subject you to the video. The video should be stricken from or nuked from orbit. If, as I said, Obsidian served as a revisiting of the greatest moments from Paradise Lost's illustrious career through a modern lens, this album can pair with that as all the moments they didn't hit. I don't want to call it B-sides because I like B-sides. This feels like a look at the career from Paradise Lost when they got caught up chasing commercial success in popular sounds of the time and sort of lost their own identity. I normally relish my role as banger veterinarian sent in to put old dogs down, but I gotta admit, this one does not feel great. This was the family dog. It's a sad, emotional moment. Please respect me in my time of grief, or say funny things about me in the comments. It's really your choice. I'm giving this 2 out of 5 Metallica James Hetfield skulls, just like a James Hetfield hair on a Metallica skull, I guess, with like one of those old rock and roll microphones that he insists on using that look awful. So, what did you think of my Paradise Lost review? I know I talked about things from kind of more of an orbital perspective, but this is a band whose career I know, and I felt like this was a career-y type album, and I clearly had some thoughts. Do you share my thoughts? Are you as bad as I did? Did you get subjected to that AI video on accident? What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Like I said, good or bad, I love reading them all, and I love getting in there and goofing around with you. So you'll catch me. And sorry, I forgot to change my shirt. But of course, the album is not done. We have shout-outs, and I don't have anything to really shout out that sounds like the album, but that's probably a good thing. Anyways, if you like Doom, this is Doom, but I am going to warn you now, it's on Sentient Laboratories, so proceed with caution. It is metal of the double black diamond category. Gawthrop, Kuboa, September 19th, and if you just want some death metal, Occulsed, Antegnosis on Everlasting Spew comes out this Friday, September 26th. So there you go. There's 2 records that I feel better about. Ooh, sigh. I wonder if I'll be back talking about Death Doom in the near future, and it might cheer me up.